Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. Over the weekend, we had the NBA playoffs finally started. Best time of the year, and it finally came around. I mean, the NBA playoffs are the best time. I love it. I think the NBA playoffs are probably the best playoffs. Basketball overall is the best playoffs, college and pro. But it finally started. We'll talk about that today. We also, that'll be our first three segments. Talking about the first three games. We got Saturday's games in one segment, Sundays in another, and I'll preview tonight's games. There's only two, but I'll talk about that. After that, NFL draft is this week. I'm talking about the quarterbacks available and the running backs available. We'll talk about both of those groups for today. Before we get into any of that, however, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it really means you guys care about the content that we are putting out. And by donating, it really means we'll do the best work we can to keep putting out the content you guys enjoy. So if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do so by the super chat and sticker feature. If you're not in the live stream, you're watching this on YouTube or listening, the two links in the bio and description are the best way to do that. If you don't want to donate, you want to leave a comment, 100% do that. I mean, leave it if you're in the live stream chat, leave it in the chat. I'll see that as soon as you send it, and I can answer that as soon as you send it. And if you're not in the live stream chat, if you're on YouTube, leave it in the comment section. I'll get to that as soon as I can see it. I'll respond to that as soon as I can. So I love being able to talk to the fans. Love being able to talk to you guys. That's what I'm here for. So feel free to do that. Leave the comments. If, like I said, if you do want to tip or donate, however, if you're in the live stream, do so with the super chat or sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, you want to donate, the two links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get into the first topic of the day. Like I said earlier, the NBA playoffs have officially started, and it was amazing. The first few days have been really good so far. I've really enjoyed it. The games are good. Yeah, there's a few bad ones. There's a few games that I didn't really enjoy watching. But the other games that were good. I did enjoy watching. So first segment, we're going to talk about Saturday game recaps. The games that happened on Saturday, we'll recap those real quick and just talk about that. So let's get to it. Also, sorry I didn't upload on Friday. I was sick. I was throwing up. Sorry. Okay, first game. Pacers Bucks. Sorry, Pacers Bucks. This rivalry has been around forever, I feel like. These teams are always going at it. These teams are always, just getting chippy with each other. Last year, this series happened without Dame. This year, it also might happen without Dame. I mean, he played in the first game, or didn't play in the first game. He was cleared, I believe, to play further on. So maybe he'll get, a few games in against Indianapolis. But will he, though? I'm not sure. I think the Pacers are honestly just the Bucks' kryptonite. Whenever these teams play each other, you feel like the Bucks are a better overall team. However, the Pacers just come out and play better. And that's what happened in game one. Pacers won with a 117-81. Honestly, the game was really close as well. I mean, the Bucks are coming back for a good majority of that game. The Bucks were coming back, and they kept it close. Then towards the end of the middle of the fourth, the Pacers slipped away, and the Bucks just couldn't retain that lead. Couldn't get it back. Couldn't come back and win the game. So I mean, the Pacers, some of the notable Pacers players from the day. I mean, you got Tyrese had 10 points, 7 boards, 12 assists. I mean, Tyrese is just an all-around. I mean, he's such a good player. I mean, 10 points, that's obviously not going to cut it. He's not known as a scorer, so I'll say. He's more of a playmaker, and he makes plays. I mean, 12 assists, 7 boards. That's going to help your team win games. Making plays where you're finding your open teammates, passing it, not keeping the ball for yourself. That's going to help win you games. And by, him getting these offensive and defensive rebounds, plus passing the ball around for open teammates, getting good looks, that's going to help you win basketball games. Pascal Siakam, 25 points, 7 boards, 2 assists. Pascal was a huge pickup for the Pacers last year. He was phenomenal in Toronto, got him out, traded for him, got him out, and now he's a shining star once again in Indiana. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He's helping the Pacers so much this year, last year, wherever he's been his entire career. He's been a great player. And come playoff time, he plays phenomenal as well. And Pascal, like I said, just dropped 25 points against the Bucks, who, are one of the better defensive teams in the NBA, and he just had a great game. Another Pascal Siakam 25-point game. Wouldn't be surprised if he continues to drop 25 plus throughout the entire playoffs, however far they get. Miles Turner for the Pacers had another good game. 19 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, another almost 20-point player. I mean, he's starting for him. He's getting good minutes. I mean, he's a great player for the Pacers. He's a big. He can shoot. I mean, he's just a good player. And him being paired up against, these Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, some of these big guys, and he's just playing really good basketball, helping defend the paint, and he's just playing good basketball regardless. Let's go to the Bucks. Let's switch over to the Bucks. Giannis. It's only 2 players for the Bucks that I'm going to talk about. Giannis, 36, 12, and 1. Continues to dominate. A reason he was selected to be an MVP candidate. He won't win it, even though he's playing phenomenal. However, it just hasn't really been flashy. The media hasn't covered him at all this year, and even though he's averaging almost Jokic numbers, he's just getting no recognition. He's still a phenomenal player. Like I said, he's dropping 36 and 12 on the Pacers. I mean, like I said, these teams are always heated, and I feel like Jokic just plays better against the Pacers, but we'll have to wait and see how this series turns out. I mean, obviously, it's just one game, but the Bucks really haven't done much in the playoffs since their championship in 2021, where they beat the Suns, but they've been first-round exits the past 3 seasons, and if they want to, potentially make another title run and hopefully keep Giannis around, they need to make a deeper run this year and not just get bounced first or second round. They got to make it to at least the Eastern Conference Finals, if not the finals in general. The other Buck I want to talk about, Kyle Kuzma, and not for a good reason. Kyle Kuzma, on 22 minutes of playing time, starting 22 minutes, he put up 0 points, 0 rebounds, and 0 assists. How do you manage to do that? I mean, I feel like if I was if I was in the NBA, I could have at least gotten one singular stat on there. Maybe a rebound if it comes bouncing away. Maybe find an open teammate. Maybe make a jumper. I mean, I doubt it, but still, I mean, on 22 minutes, I mean, it's almost as bad as Tony Snell's 28 minutes. I mean, almost. I think he probably did claim that throne as, Mr. Cardio for that game. Maybe all time. I mean, 20-plus minutes getting zeros across the board. Insane. You just can't let that happen. And that's the reason they lost. If Kyle Kuzma plays somewhat decent and Giannis isn't the only starter on the Bucks to get more than 10. He was the only starter on the Bucks to get 10-plus points, which is actually insane to think about. If you have, starters, because multiple of those guys, multiple starters had 0, 3, 5, and 9. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what the starting points were for every starter on the Bucks. And if you have those guys putting up 10-plus points, 10 points minimum, they win that game. However, they didn't, and they lost game 1. It's going to be a great series, though. I'm excited to see how that one goes. By the way, I can't believe they traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. Actually insane. That trade's also very interesting. Not nearly, Chris Middleton helped that team so much, and him, them trading him like that, it's crazy to think about. Second game of the day. The best game of that day, the Saturday games. Clippers-Denver. Like I said, this game, I said this in the previous shows, I think this series is going to go to 7. And just off this first game alone, I think absolutely it could. Sorry, just hit my notebook. Sorry, I got a little loud right there. Denver did come away with the win, 112 to 110 in OT. This game was close the entire time. I mean, it was always within 10. There was no huge lead. I mean, Denver had, I think the most they had was a 12-point lead, and LA came back, keep it within 3 the entire time. I mean, it was a phenomenal game. The Clippers held the lead. The Denver didn't come back and take the lead for the first time. They were leading 13-11, and then didn't lead after that until the middle of the fourth quarter when they were heating up and the Clippers started to just couldn't shoot. They hit a dry spot, and they couldn't shoot. They were cold. Denver took advantage of it, and yeah, I mean, James Harden, though, even with James Harden putting up a phenomenal stat line, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. I mean, James Harden, even though he's been in the league for this long, since 2000, who knows, I believe it was 6, I believe he was drafted, I forgot when. But, I mean, he's still hooping, and he's still a phenomenal basketball player no matter where he is. him and Kawhi, even though Kawhi had for a Kawhi, he had an off day for his standards. They still played phenomenal. Still probably the best team in the West, skill wise. I think the Nuggets are probably the best team in the West. They took them to an OT. Zubac, who I had, playing paired up against, who's paired up against Jokic, the best center in the league right now. He put up 21 points, 13 boards, 2 assists. I mean, Zubac, there's a reason he's a finalist for most improved player. I mean, he's played so well for the Clippers this entire season, this entire year. And, I mean, it's just insane how good of a player that he is, how good of a player he's become, and how good of a player he's helping. He's just a huge help for the Clippers. And him playing really good against Jokic, holding Jokic to about 50% shooting, compared to his usual, 60, 70, because he's just so consistent and dominant in the paint. It shows a lot. And Zubac is going to be, they're playing again tonight. It's going to be a great game to see them play again tonight. Jokic, though, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists. That's an off game for Jokic. Almost a triple-double, not. But still, Jokic is still dropping 30-point triple-doubles. Even with, Zubac holding him down to that, that's still insane that he's still this good. And Zubac is guarding him this well, playing such good defense on him, dropping 21, and Jokic says, I'm dropping 30 on you instead. It's just going to be this series is going to be so good just based off their big play. I'm so excited to see the rest of the series. The final 2 games for Saturday, we'll talk about the Lakers game. Minnesota over the Lakers. They win 117-93. Minnesota won that game because the shooting, they shot 50% basically from 3. They made every other shot practically, and they just beat LA. Plain and simple. They beat them. Better shooting, and their big play was a lot better. Rudy Gobert was dominating all game in the paint. And then the final game, which is the game before the Minnesota game, Detroit versus New York, the Knicks. It was a great game. New York did win 123-112. Detroit was very close the entire game. I was always between 8 points max, maybe 6 or 7. But the reason Detroit lost and New York won, in the fourth quarter, New York went on a 21-0 run, which is something in the playoffs that could not happen, and that clearly showed that the Detroit is still such a young team with, they got a lot to learn. So if they can fix that, they're going to be a tough sin to face. I mean, it's going to be a great scene. I mean, it's great seeing these young Pistons teams in the playoffs, but you can't be having 21-0 runs. So that's all we got for this segment. Recap the Saturday games. Next segment, we're going to the Sunday games. After that, we're talking about the games tonight. After that, for 4 and 5 segment, we're talking about the NFL draft coming up. Talk about the quarterbacks and running backs. We'll get right back to all of that after the break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jammer. First segment, talked about the NBA playoffs, Saturday game recaps. This segment, we're talking about the Sunday game recaps, the game from yesterday on Easter. Happy Easter to those who celebrate, by the way. But I'll talk about the games on Easter, talk about those in this segment. Before we get into those, however, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it shows you guys care about the content that we are putting out. And by tipping and donating, we'll continue to keep putting out the best work that we possibly can so you guys can enjoy, watch, listen, and it's what we're here for. It's our job. We want to make sure you guys are enjoying it, what we're doing. So if you do want to tip or donate, if you're in the live stream, the best way to do that is through the super chat and sticker feature. If you're not in the live stream, watching or listening, the 2 links in the bio and description are the best way to do that. Even if you don't want to leave a tip or donate, you want to leave a comment, if you're in the live chat, please, throw that in. I'll see it as soon as you throw it in there. I'll respond to it as soon as I see it. So I like being able to talk to you guys. Please do that. Also, if you're also not in the live stream and you're like watching or listening, throw it in the comment section. I'll see that as soon as I can, as soon as I'm done uploading, editing, all that stuff. I like to look it over. And if you guys have a comment, put it in the comment section. I'll respond to that. I love being able to talk to you guys. So feel free to leave a comment either the live chat or the comment section of the YouTube video, and I'll get to those as soon as possible. But like I said, if you do want to tip or donate, which is always greatly appreciated, if you're in the live chat, the super chat and the stickers are the best feature for that. If you're not in the live stream, the 2 links in the bio and description will do the best thing for that. So with that being said, let's get into segment number 2. Segment number 2 is the recap from Sunday's slate of basketball games. Sunday's games, I mean, it really wasn't, a day that one day was better than the other. They were both pretty even match days, I'd say, for, scale how much fun they were to watch and enjoy. But looking at the scores right now, you could make a debate that Saturdays were definitely better just based off how close the games were score wise. But they were both good games. I mean, both days were good. There's no every team's in the playoff for a reason. There's no bad playoff game, but there definitely was. If you do want to look at one certain game, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies. I think if you're listening or watching, you've probably seen the score of the game already. But in case you haven't, the OKC Thunder beat the Memphis Grizzlies 131-81. They beat them by 51 points. I mean, this is playoff basketball. I mean, you're expecting close, good games, and you're losing by 51 points in the first game. That just shows that Memphis just really doesn't know what they're doing. They fired their head coach 3 weeks ago, which I still think is one of the most interesting decisions that organization has made, considering he's the only one who's brought them to playoffs as of recently. Yeah, he's had very little success outside the first round, but still, he's taken them to the playoffs, and they fired him. And then they lose by 51 points to OKC. This Memphis team just isn't good enough to be competing in the Western Conference against teams like OKC. Yeah, they got John Morant. SGA is just so much better than him, however. Desmond Bane. You got guys, Jalen Williams. I mean, you got guys who are just so much better than Memphis. I had Memphis winning at least 2 games, maybe. But at this rate, it's going to be a 4-0 sweep, which is never a fun thing to see, especially if, your favorite team is playing a 4-0 swept. So that stinks. I mean, the Thunder are just that good. They're just that good. Celtics versus Orlando. I thought this would be a good game as well. I mean, the score, Boston did win 103-86, but I thought Magic would have put up a better defensive battle because that is what they're here for. They're known for their defensive play through the regular season and playoffs. And I mean, 103 against letting up 103 to a very good Boston offense. Oh, I'm yawning. I'm sorry. It's a very gloomy day here. I'm very tired. Yeah, I hear a train right now. It's very gloomy. I don't know. It's one of those days. But like I was saying, Orlando's here because their defense, not their offense. And 86 points is not going to get you a win in the playoffs. And when you're they did hold Boston to probably one of the top 2, maybe top 3 best offenses in the NBA to only 103 points. So the potential is there. They could absolutely come back and win a few games in the series, 1 or 2 games. But I don't know. Boston's just so dominant and so good. It's going to be very hard for them to come back and be able to win games like that. We'll have to wait and see. Cleveland. They played the Miami Heat. They won 121-100. I really thought that Heat were about to come back and win that game. They were down 10, came back, kept it within 3, and then Cleveland just went on an absolute tear. You got guys like Darius Garland pulling up from almost the logo on like 2 straight possessions and hitting just banking threes. I mean, you can't even defend that. I mean, what are you gonna do? Go up and face guard him at the logo? No. You got guys like Tyus Jones or Max Strus is pulling up still. I mean, Cleveland is just so dominant when it comes to shooting. It's insane. They just don't miss half the time. And the Heat are they are an 8 seed or whatever. They're not a bad 8 seed at all. They made it to the playoffs without Jimmy Butler, who is, by the way, the best. Probably he was the best player on that team. I was gonna say one of the best playoff players of all time, and actually I'll stick by that. Playoff Jimmy helped take an 8 seed out of the play-in, took them all the way to the NBA Finals and played the Nuggets 2 years ago. But I mean, even with him gone, I absolutely believe that the Miami Heat can still make a push, maybe take it to 7, maybe. We'll have to wait and see for that, though. But, I mean, the Miami Heat aren't a horrible team whatsoever at all. They're a good basketball team. They're not the best, but they're not horrible. And even though they're an 8 seed, I do believe they are the best 8 seed. They are better than Memphis. And this 121-100 loss doesn't say that for them. They are a good team. They're better than what the record says. They just Jimmy Butler was holding out for so long, and some of the players were hurt. I mean, you got guys like Tyler Hero, phenomenal basketball player. Bam Adebayo, one of the best centers in the league. Duncan Robinson, Yame Vasquez. I mean, this Heat team is a really good team. It can absolutely make some noise. But will they? I'm not so sure, unfortunately. But, I mean, we'll have to wait and see for the next game, which comes on Tuesday, to see if my point stands. If it doesn't, we'll have to wait and see. The best game yesterday, though, however, the Warriors-Houston Rockets game. It looks like Steph Curry still has a grudge against Houston. I mean, he is just so good. I mean, yeah, they beat them in 2018, so he doesn't really have a grudge, but he still just has hate. I'm not sure. He just doesn't like Houston. And the 95-85 win for them, a 7 seed coming in and beating a 2 seed. The Houston Rockets, however, went from a 500 team last year, 41-41, no playoffs, no play-in whatsoever. They go from 41-41, no play-in, no playoffs, to the second best team in the West. Second overall seed in the West. In one of the best Western conferences we've seen in a long time. That does show a lot, but the team is so young that you got guys like Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. I mean, they're just doing their job. They're shooting, and Jimmy Butler's making plays on defense. I mean, the Warriors are so good and so dominant. The Houston Rockets at this rate, I did have the game originally going to 7, and I still think it will go through. I still think the series will go to 7 games. I'm really excited to see how that pans out, though, just because, how good the Warriors dynasty franchise is. Steph Curry is still playing like he has his entire career. He's shooting good. He's not the best defensive player, but he's still doing the best that he can with, what he's got on defense. He's got, Jimmy Butler, like I said, still hooping. He wanted out. He got what he finally wanted. Went to Golden State. Helped take them to the play-in. They're playing the 2 seed Rockets as a 7 seed. And they can absolutely win this series and go on to the Western Conference semis. But the Warriors are just so good and so dominant still. It's really insane how good this team is. I am really excited to see, how they pan out, how this whole series goes. I do hope the Warriors win. I'm not a huge Rockets fan because my screen froze. I got a little nervous there. The Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham beef. Obviously, I'm from Detroit. I'm a Pistons fan, so I just like the Pistons. I just don't like the Houston Rockets. Also, they have a Men Thompson, who's a SARS twin. So I gotta root for the team that's not, you know what I'm saying. I just don't like the Rockets. So I do hope the Warriors win, but I do the Rockets are so young. I do kind of hope they have some success. No finals appearance yet, but just get them some experience. So come next year, if they do happen to lose to the Warriors, I'm not sure they will. This game, like I said, will probably go to 7. We'll go from there. But I'm excited to see the rest of the series pan out because, like I said, if Houston does end up losing, they're going to come back next year with more experience, and they can make a deep run next year as well. But as of right now, it's going to be a great series. I'm excited to see how it ends, how it plays out going forward. Also, sorry, my My book here also hit the computer again. I gotta stop. I gotta take it off my keyboard so it doesn't, keep doing that. Make everyone's ears hurt. I'm sorry about that. But that's all we got for this segment. Next segment, we're talking about the games tonight. Just 2 games tonight. We'll preview those. Talk about who I think is gonna win. After that, we're going to the NFL draft, running backs and quarterbacks. We'll talk about who I think is going to go where or the best players available. We'll talk about all that after the break.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Sorry for the little black screen right there. I was drinking some water so it got in my face. Sorry about that. But welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamper. First 2 segments, we talked about stat of the game recap, Sunday game recap, games from the past, playoff games past 2 days. This third segment, we're talking about playoffs again, Monday's game preview. After that, we'll go to the NFL. We'll talk about the running back and quarterbacks available in the draft and who are the best available. So let's talk about tonight's games. Tonight, we have 2 games, only 2. One from each conference. Side of the bracket, you know what I'm saying. In the East, we got Detroit playing the Knicks, the 3-6. It rhymes. And then the West Coast game, we got the 4-5, Denver and LA. First, I'll talk about let's go to Detroit first. Let's talk about the Detroit game first. This series, like I've said so many times, I think this series will either be a very short, it'll be a 4-game sweep, or go to 7. No in between. I think that because the Pistons are so inexperienced overall as a playoff team. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2018. This team is so young. They don't know what's going on really. And the Knicks team does. This Knicks team has been in the playoffs the past few seasons. They know what's happening. They know how to roll. However, I do think overall, even though just not just playoffs, like just overall as a team, I do think that the Pistons have the players to beat the New York Knicks in a 7-game series. I do believe Cade Cunningham is better than Jalen Brunson. Asar Thompson is a great defensive player. Is he better than Mikal Bridges? I'm not sure. But defensive-wise, absolutely. Jalen Duren and Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, that's a phenomenal matchup. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is better, but I think Jalen Duren's more aggressive. He plays the game like Karl-Anthony Towns is a lot more versatile, scores on all 3 levels, 3, pull-up, layup, dunk, whatever. Duren can't. Duren can't shoot the 3 ball. His mid-range has got some work to do, but he's great in the paint, which is where, they need him. So that's a great matchup as well. I mean, Josh Hart versus Mikal Bridges / Campaign, or Malik Beasley versus Campaign. I mean, we've got these players beefing. All these players over the NBA are beefing all of a sudden. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I love it, but I mean that beef they had a few games ago. The first game was insane. Malik was talking, Campaign was talking. Things were getting chippy. Madison Square Garden was just going to erupt. And it was a great game. It was a great matchup between those two. They were both playing good. But, the Pistons did fall short the first game. They let the Knicks go on a 21-0 run in the fourth quarter, which is you absolutely cannot let that happen, especially come playoff time. And especially for a team so inexperienced in the playoffs like the Pistons, you cannot let that happen. And, you can't let that happen. The Knicks are a good team. Will this game go to 7? I still think it will. They play again tonight, though, in Madison Square Garden again. I think the Pistons can get this one though. If they can, play better defense, slow things down a little bit, not go on these big scoring droughts that they've been going on, they can be a good team. They also have to limit their turnovers. That has been a problem with the Pistons the entire year is their turnovers. You cannot be letting up 20 turnovers in a game. You're not going to win a game, any game. Playoff, rec game, no regular season, exhibition. You're not going to win any game with 20 turnovers. The Pistons have to figure out the turnover problem and figure it out now. I cannot see them. I just hate watching when they're playing such sloppy basketball, making all these just not good passes, dribbling and letting it just get between their hands and they lose control of it. I mean, it's just even for any team, it's the worst to see that stuff happen, and especially seeing that with this young Pistons team. This entire team has never been in the playoffs. Haven't been in it in 6 years now, 7, 8 years now. You just can't let that. You cannot let that happen. So I don't know. This game tonight is gonna be really good though. Back in New York though, it's gonna be a great game. I do believe the Pistons can come away with this game and a win. I'm rooting for them. It's gonna be a great watch again. The first game was a great watch. I'm hoping this one will be as well. And worst comes to worst, the Pistons go down 2-0, but then they head back to Detroit to host the playoffs for the first time in since 2018. So it's gonna be a great series. I'm excited to keep watching this series. Next game we're talking about tonight. The only other game in the West. The only other game is in the West. The 4 and 5, the 5-seeded Los Angeles Clippers versus the 4-seed Denver Nuggets. Like I said, the first game, a few segments ago, the first game they had when it was the first day of the playoffs, the game went to OT. Denver won 112-110. That game was absolutely phenomenal. It was phenomenal the entire game. Both teams were making plays the entire time. Making shots, making good passes, driving to the lane, getting blocks. I mean, it was a phenomenal game to watch overall. And this whole series, like I've said so many times, is going to go to 7 games. I think the Clippers are the sleeper team, the black horse team that no one talks about in the Western Conference. And, if you keep having Harden drop double-doubles like he had in the first game when he had, 32, 6, and 11. I mean, and Kawhi drops 20-plus points. Zubac keeps hitting boards and putting up 20-plus points as well. They're going to win games. It's just a matter of, if can they keep it up, which I do think they can. The Clippers are a great team overall, but can they match up against Jokic? I mean, Zubac can't. He proved it. Yeah, Jokic almost shot a 30-point triple-double, but that was a very minimal triple-double. Like, Jokic, how good he is. He's the best center in the world, one of the best players in the world right now. And holding him to that little in the playoffs when, the Nuggets are known to rise is very good. Jamal Murray, he's a problem. Jamal Murray was pulling up that entire game from beyond the arc, hitting shots, heat checking, and they were just going in. Christian Braun making a lot of steals throughout the game. Christian Braun was making very good pickpocket steals, making plays, getting easy 2-point transition buckets for the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon, he's using his body like he has been doing his whole career. He's making shots. Same with Michael Porter Jr. Michael never swing the rock. Porter Jr. I mean, he's known for not passing, and he's known for shooting. And even when he shoots, most of the time it goes in. He's a great shooter. So, and Russell Westbrook is making some really good plays as well. Russell Westbrook still has that skill, that ability to make plays off on the ball, and he's been doing it his entire career, and he's still got it now even in Denver. He's fast, he's physical, he's quick. He's still got what it takes to be, a phenomenal NBA player, and he's showing it in Denver. He wants to win his first ring. He wants it bad, and he's helping this Denver Nuggets team, hopefully, to get his first and the team's second in 4 seasons. Or 2 seasons, 3. That's 2023. Yeah, it'd be 2 seasons, who knows. But it'd be their second ever title as well. So he's trying to help them, but this game tonight is going to be phenomenal. I mean, it's going to hopefully Clippers in this game head back to LA on a 1-1 series tie, heading to LA, maybe try to get 2 wins from them to go up 3-1. But the series, I'm so convinced if the LA wins tonight, tie series 1-1, I'm so convinced this series will go to 7 games and it'll be one of the best first rounds we've ever had, just based on one of the best 4 and 5 games. I mean, these 4 and 5s are always great games, but I'm convinced this will be one of the best. I mean, just Jokic for Zubac, James Harden versus Jamal Murray, And Harden's a better player than Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray cannot guard him for the life of him. You're watching that game and you see Jamal Murray on him. You're like, oh yeah, James Harden's gonna hit his signature through the legs, step back, three, and it goes in because Jamal Murray cannot guard it. He's not a very good defender overall. So they got to take advantage of that tonight if they want to win. But if the Nuggets want to win, just play like they did on Saturday, and they'll be just fine and ready to go. But overall tonight, who I want to win, my two teams that I'm a fan of, Detroit and the Clippers. I'm a Clippers fan for reasons I don't feel like telling. Just I'm a Clippers fan as well. Not no Detroit pit, not nearly as much as Detroit, but I'm a Clippers fan as well. So I'm excited to see these both. I'm excited. I do want to see both these teams get their first win, get some momentum going, and see how the rest of the series go. Because these are both great series, and I'm excited to see where they both go in the future. That's all I got for the NBA today. Next two segments, we're switching to the NFL. Draft is coming up this week. We'll talk about that after the break.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I am your host, Nolan Jambert. First three segments, it was all NBA. Talk about the playoffs. We recapped Sundays and Saturdays games. Talked about the games going on tonight. This segment, NFL draft is coming up. Let's talk about the quarterbacks. The 11 quarterbacks in this year's draft. And let's just say these quarterbacks ain't no, walk of the mill. These guys are good quarterbacks, and they are all very, very good. They all have potential to be good quarterbacks in the NFL. And I want to talk about each one of them. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me again. Sorry, I had some food earlier. It was really good. Let's start it off by saying who will probably be the number one overall pick in the draft, Cam Ward. Cam Ward is basically guaranteed to be the first overall pick in the draft to go to Tennessee as a quarterback. They needed one bad. They've been scouting him a long time, and like I said a few shows ago, I feel like when he says he's playing Fortnite with some of his friends, I believe, or some of his buddies, and they asked him, who are the best running backs in the league? He said Tony Pollard and Tayshaun Spears, the two running backs for the Tennessee Titans. I believe, he's gonna be the number one pick. He's the most clear-cut player in the draft. He's calm in the pocket. He's got what it takes to be a real NFL quarterback. He's big, he's fast, he's shifty. Like I said, he's really calm and collected in the pocket. His O-line in Miami was a huge help for that success for him as well. It was such a good O-line, such a dominant O-line. And if the Tennessee can, kind of build around a good O-line for him, he will be a phenomenal quarterback for Miami. I'm really excited to see how he does, but I do think he's going to be the number one overall pick and the number one overall quarterback off the board. Just because how good he is. Number two, I'm looking at ESPN's, rankings right now. I'm just going to say based on where they're going to go. So, number two, we got Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. There's a lot of options of where Shedeur Sanders could go. People think he might go to Cleveland at 2, which I don't think is the case. There was absolutely a potential for him to go to Cleveland at number 2 until the Browns got Joe Flacco off the waivers. So maybe he still can go, but one scenario that could happen, the Browns draft Travis Hunter 2, and they trade up. They trade up to early in the first round, like top 10, and try to get Shedeur, which is 100% doable. Shedeur Sanders is a great quarterback. He had statistically, I think he had the worst O-line in college football last year and had one of the best stat lines. He had one of the best passing completion percentages the most runs for an average quarterback. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He's insanely athletic. He's fast. He's shifty. He's not as calm in the pocket, and he makes some questionable throws here and there. But overall, he's a great quarterback with a lot of upside to him. He's helping his teammate Travis Hunter win the Heisman. That's always a huge help. Seeing your teammate win the Heisman. That's also a good look for you, showing you're getting this guy reps. Even though Travis Hunter was a two-way player, both sides of the ball. On offense, he was so dominant because Shedeur was helping him out, making good passes, making good reads for him. So, I mean, Sanders can throw receivers to her open. He can read a really good defense as well. He's good at reading defenses. He learned a lot from Coach Sanders, his dad, prime time. But he's a great quarterback. He could absolutely fall to the Browns at 2. Will he? I doubt it. Because I think they're gonna go for Travis Hunter. But I think if the Browns trade up for him, they'll get him. But I think the furthest that he might fall is honestly probably to the Saints at 8 or 10, or the Saints are at, because Derek Carter's got hurt, so maybe they'll pick him up. But we'll have to wait and see come draft time. It's all just speculation. Then you got Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. Jackson Dart is a phenomenal player. He's just kind of an overall great quarterback. He's fast. He's quick. He can read a defense. His only problem that I've tended to notice with him, when watching him play, he likes to collapse. When his pocket collapses, he gets nervous. He gets tense. He wants to get rid of it. And having a quarterback who can't really handle collapsing pocket is never good. You can't, especially you're the heart and soul of the offense. You have to be able to sit in there an extra few seconds and either take a hit or get rid of it. And he normally tends to kind of take a hit, but he's a great quarterback overall. He sometimes makes interesting throws, but he can read a defense really well. If his O-line does their job and he's sitting in that pocket for a few seconds, he's finding someone open and letting it go. Most quarterbacks, a good quarterback should be able to sit in the pocket and find an open receiver pretty fast, but Dart does it a lot better than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He extends plays. He can keep his eye downfield. He's a great quarterback, and he can really keep a play alive when needs to be. Skipping, I want to go to this guy. I want to talk about this guy right here. Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe is one of the most interesting quarterbacks I've seen in the draft board in a long time. He went to Pittsburgh for a draft day. They had him at dinner, and they liked him. On his pro day, he did not play like a quarterback, I'll tell you that. He threw for multiple incompletions, a few interceptions. He's just not, he's not the quarterback that people were making him out to be. He would be a great player for, a quick, a Marcus Mariota type of quarterback. Bring him on for quick run plays, quick, quarterback, draw, something where, an option. He's a very athletic quarterback. No one is doubting his play, his ability, his athletic ability. People are questioning his ability to play quarterback, which, is definitely a question, which is definitely, bad when you're going in as a quarterback. It's never a good thing. So, Jalen Milroe will definitely, he will get drafted, but it's a matter of where. Will he be a first rounder? I highly doubt it. If he's a first-round pick, I'll be very surprised. I don't think he's that good to be a first-round pick. But he absolutely could drop to 3 or 4, round 3 or 4. He's, like I said, he's not the best quarterback, but he's a freak athlete. He's a very good athlete. He's fast. He's strong. He can literally, you can lower his shoulder and you'll think it's a running back coming towards you. He's a big guy with a lot of mobility in the pocket. So if you, like I said, put him in, QB option and let him work, because he will make plays out of the backfield when needed. Will Howard out of Ohio State. I feel like this guy really isn't getting a lot of, recognition on, websites. No one's really talking about Will Howard. He just took Ohio State to a national championship. They won. The national championship quarterback is getting very, very little recognition and talk right now, and I'm very surprised. He's a good quarterback. He's not, he's not no Tom Brady. He's not no first overall pick, but he's a good quarterback regardless. He isn't the fastest, but he's calm in the pocket. He can make throws, and he's a good team. He's a great teammate. Having a good quarterback who's a great teammate is a very, very good thing. He's a very good passer, especially, the playoffs really helped him kind of build his, what's the word, I guess? Build his portfolio of skill. He really got to show off his skill in the playoffs. He played a lot better in the playoffs than he did in the regular season. Helped them take him to a national championship. But he's also, even without a throwing, he's a good running quarterback. He's got a good stiff arm. He's fast. He's pretty shifty too for a quarterback. And he's a guy you could definitely see dropping. I could see him going before Jalen Milroe, but I could definitely see him dropping after. I can see him maybe being like a late second, maybe early third. But if he's not drafted there, he's either going sixth or free agent. But he's a good quarterback though. I mean, he can run. Ohio State used him a lot to run in college, and I wouldn't be surprised if a team picks him up to for him to keep running at the NFL level, professional level as well. Next guy we'll talk about, Quinn Ewers, out of Texas. Quinn Ewers is also kind of one of those quarterbacks who is in a weird spot. He got hurt. Arch Manning took over, and seeing Arch Manning play better than you. It's never really a good thing. When you see a freshman come in and he's already playing better than a quarterback who's taking him to the playoffs, it's never really a good thing. But regardless of that, Quinn Ewers had a great season. Quinn Ewers, helped take Texas to the playoffs. He's fat. I wouldn't say fast, but he's got a good arm. He can read a good defense. He's a good quarterback. He's definitely a quarterback that could really get drafted. For none of these quarterbacks anymore are first-round quarterbacks. These are all, third, second, third, fourth, fifth round quarterbacks. You can definitely help a team, in certain scenarios. But is Quinn Ewers that good? Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He doesn't get a lot of recognition. Like I said, he can read a defense. He's got a good arm. He's got a good zip on his passes, I guess you could say. He throws it fast. He throws it accurate. He's good. He's got a good arm, and he's really good off his back foot. When he's moving, he's running or whatever, and he's mobile. He can make throws off the back of his foot, and that's always huge to have. When you're mobile in a pocket, because pockets tend to collapse pretty fast. So it's always good to have a quarterback who can move like that when needed, which is always always a benefit to your team. There's a few more quarterbacks, but the end of the segment's coming up, so I got to call that segment there. Thank you for tuning in to segment 4. Next segment, the final segment, we're going back to the NFL draft, and we're talking about the running backs. Definitely one of the most interesting, and I think it's one of the most stacked running back classes, in a while. So we'll talk about we'll get back to that after the break. Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. First four segments, we talked about NBA playoffs. First segment was recap from Saturday. Then Sunday, talked about the games for the night. Last segment, we talked about the NFL draft and the quarterbacks available. This segment, final segment number 5, we got the NFL draft and its running backs. Like I said to end off the last segment, I think this is one of the best running back classes not one of the best, but it's like, it's a really good running back class. I'll say that. A lot of guys available in this draft class, and a lot of them are very good. The consensus number one running back off the board will be Ashton Jeanty. And that, I feel like that's just kind of a no-brainer. Excuse me. The Raiders, looking at him at the seventh spot, and I believe that he will be drafted by the Raiders at that spot. He proved himself last year. A Heisman finalist, Heisman candidate. It's not easy for a running back, I feel like, to do that. I feel like nowadays it's very, very far and few for running backs. It's mostly quarterbacks and receivers. And not only going to be, leading the Boise State to the playoffs for the first time in a while, taking this Mountain West team. The Boise State's always been, kind of like a powerhouse in the Mountain West. But he's really helped that team, gain momentum. He helped that team gain recruits just based off him alone. And Ashton Jeanty is a player that any NFL team should want and need. He's a phenomenal running back. He's like a Derrick Henry build. Yeah, he's a lot smaller, in height. He's like 5'10", but he's a very, very big guy. 211 pounds of just pure muscle. He's a beast. He's very fast too. He is 5'9". Sorry, he was 5'9", 211, which is, an interesting build for a running back. You want running backs to, be a little bigger, but in height, but he's still a great player. Like I said, he took Boise State to the college football playoffs, lost to Penn State, whatever. But one of the stat lines. He put up 267 yards and a touchdown against, Georgia Southern. That's one of his, probably the best game he had all season. Yeah, Georgia Southern is Georgia Southern, whatever. He still put up 6 touchdowns and almost 300 all-purpose yards. That's insane to think about. He put up, during Penn State, his first ever playoff game, he put up 180 rushing yards and a touchdown, which is still an insane stat line to see. Penn State had one of the best run defenses in the country, possibly the best, and he puts up 180 rush yards, 200 all-purpose, and a touchdown. That's a huge thing to have, for a running back who is going into the draft and going to be probably the number one running back off the board. He is, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, he had the second most rushing yards all time in a season behind Barry Sanders when at Oklahoma State. He had 2,601 rushing yards, and, that's only a few yards behind Barry Sanders when he was in college at Oklahoma State. He's fast. He's got a really good stiff arm. He can catch the ball in stride, which a lot of running backs, you feel like nowadays just can't really do as well compared to Jeanty. Jeanty can catch the ball when needed. He's just the number one overall running back in the draft, and that's why he's going to go first as a running back, and he's probably going to the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's going to help that team succeed. I think the Raiders will be a very good team. Not very good, but definitely a lot better than they were last year, and I think Ashton Jeanty will be a huge help for them. Another running back off the board, Amarion Hampton out of North Carolina. His, the blend he has, how fast he is, his power, how strong, how quick he is. It's very, impressive. He's one of those he's kind of, people compare him, to Tavion Austin, which is, even though it's a whole different position, they both compare him because of how shifty they are. They're both very shifty players, or they were, compared to Tavion Austin. Hampton is a very shifty running back. He's 6 foot, 220. Granted, he's pretty big, but he's still very fast and very versatile for his size. He's a threat. He can catch, he can run. When he catches it and he's already moving, have fun trying to bring him down. He's just so fast and so agile. He's just such a good running back, and probably going to be the number 2 running back off the board. Where he'll go, a lot of teams need a running back, so it really just kind of matters on what team's up at the time. But who knows where he'll fall? He could fall to I feel like he can probably fall to the Steelers at 21, but we'll have to wait and see. The 2 Ohio State running backs, both with 1,000 yards rushing, Trevion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. I still cannot say his last name, Judkins. Like I said, both 1,000-yard rushers in a single season. And that's an insane feat to have. 2 of your starting running backs both going for 1,000 yards in a single season is a very, very good thing to see, especially if you're an NFL scout. I mean, talk about the first one, Henderson. 5'10", 202. Basically, it's a 5'10", 200. He's about the same size as Genty with 20 less pounds, but he's a little faster than Genty is. Henderson averaged 7 yards a carry in his time at Ohio State in 2024. That's the eighth best. It's the eighth best in college football. I mean, that's really good. Averaging almost a first down every carry is always a good thing. He's fast. He's quick. He's quick off his feet. He can catch the ball in stride. Anything you need, he can do. And speaking of Ohio State, Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State, another 1,000-yard rusher for Ohio State. Same build as Travion, about 6 foot. Actually, same build, same height as Travion, same weight as Genty. 6 foot, 221 pounds. I mean, he's really good. I mean, he's literally him and Travion are about the same person. They're both so fast. They're both so quick off their feet. They can both catch and stride. I mean, Quinshon had 11-foot broad jump. I mean, he can get 11 feet off the 11 feet just through it. Like, he can jump 11 feet. I mean, that's insane to think about if you really think about it. He can jump 11 feet, just not in the air, but I mean, he one of the best verticals, 38.5 inches, about 2.5 feet, like 2 3/4 feet. His 10-yard split, 1.51 seconds. I mean, that's insane. He is so quick, and he's going to be a threat in the backfield. If these two, Travion and Quinshon, both get paired up somehow in the NFL, in the same backfield, splitting snaps at the same backfield, same time. I mean, they're gonna be a force to reckon with, and they're gonna be a team that I'd be like a combo that I'd be very scared to line up against. Another running back I do want to talk about, the final one, Cam Skattebo out of Arizona State. I think Cam Skattebo is going to be the steal of the running back draft class. He really proved himself in the playoffs against Texas as, I'm a dog. I mean, he had 300 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was the reason that they were able to take that game to overtime and almost come back and win. I mean, he's just a freak of nature. I mean, he's fast. He had 1,500 rushing yards. Since Christian McCaffrey, he's the first running back to have 1,500 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards in a single season, which is actually insane. I mean, who cares about the teams they played? Putting up 2,000 all-purpose yards, 1,500 of those coming from rushing. I mean, that's insane. His core strength and his balance are insane. I mean, look at his stat combine. I mean, it's insane. He's 5'10", 219, so he's not small. I mean, he's not he's my size. He's literally the same height as me. He's 5'10", except he's got 50 pounds on me in weight. Actually 70 pounds. Sorry. But he's a freak of nature. I mean, he is going to be a very good player in the NFL. If you watched him against Texas, you'll know that he plays for something. He plays to win. And you can see in that mentality that he has to play with that he wants to bring winning to whatever team he's on. And he's going to be a steal. Wherever team gets him, he's going to dominate. And I'm excited to see. I think he can maybe be, early third, late second. But only time will tell, and I hope I'm right because I want to see him succeed very much in the NFL. That's all I got for you. That's all I got today. Thank you for tuning in to the Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. Your continuous support really means the world, so feel free to like, comment, and share with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all things GSMC, make sure to follow us on all of our socials, including X/Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. If you have a social media, we're on it. So make sure to follow us there to stay up to date all things GSMC. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all very soon.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to